Have you ever looked into your dog's eyes and thought you understood them completely? You know, that deep, soulful gaze that seems to say, I love you, or let's go for a walk. But what if I told you that behind that adorable face, your dog might be hiding something from you? Yes, your furry friend could be silently suffering, and you might not even know it. Today, we're diving into the 10 signs that your dog is secretly hurt by you without you realizing it. So grab a cozy blanket, maybe your pup's favorite toy, and let's get into it. First up, let's talk about changes in behavior. You know your dog better than anyone, right? So when you notice that they're suddenly more withdrawn or anxious, it's a red flag. Maybe they used to wag their tail excitedly when you came home, but now they just sit quietly in their corner. This change can be a sign that they're feeling hurt or scared, possibly due to something you did or didn't do. It could be a harsh tone during training, or even a moment of frustration that they didn't understand. Dogs are sensitive creatures, and they pick up on our emotions more than we realize. Next, let's consider their eating habits. If your dog suddenly loses interest in their food or starts eating less, it could indicate that something is amiss. It's easy to dismiss this as a picky phase, but it could also mean they're feeling unwell emotionally or physically. Maybe you've inadvertently scolded them for stealing a treat, and now they associate food with negativity. Pay attention to their mealtime behavior. If they used to gobble it up, and now they're just sniffing and walking away, take note. Another sign to watch for is excessive licking or grooming. Dogs often lick themselves as a way to comfort or soothe themselves, but if they're doing it more than usual, it might be a signal that they're feeling stressed or hurt. This could stem from a negative experience, like a painful grooming session or a harsh reprimand. If your dog is obsessively licking a certain area, it could also indicate physical pain, so keep an eye on that too. Let's not forget about their playtime. If your dog used to be the life of the party, chasing after toys and playing tug-of-war, but now seems disinterested in play, it's time to investigate. Dogs thrive on interaction and play. It's their way of bonding with you. If they're pulling away from playtime, it could mean they're feeling hurt or neglected. Maybe they're associating play with a time when they were scolded, or perhaps they're just not feeling their best. Speaking of bonding, have you noticed your dog avoiding eye contact? Eye contact is a huge part of communication between dogs and their humans. If your pup is suddenly shying away from looking you in the eyes, it could mean they're feeling guilty or scared. This behavior often stems from a previous negative experience, like being yelled at or punished. It's their way of saying, I'm not a threat. Please don't hurt me. Now, let's talk about the tail. A wagging tail is often seen as a sign of happiness, but did you know that a tucked tail can indicate fear or discomfort? If your dog is frequently tucking their tail between their legs, it might be a sign that they're feeling insecure or scared, possibly due to something you did. It's a clear indication that they're not feeling safe in their environment, and it's our job to create a space where they feel secure and loved. Another sign to watch for is changes in their sleeping patterns. If your dog is suddenly restless at night or seems to be sleeping more than usual, it could be a sign of emotional distress. Dogs need their rest, and if they're not getting it, it could mean they're dealing with anxiety or pain. Maybe they're worried about a loud noise you didn't notice, or perhaps they're feeling insecure because of a recent change in the household. Let's not overlook the importance of their body language. A dog's body can tell you a lot about how they're feeling. If you notice your dog is frequently cowering, flattening their ears, or showing their belly in a submissive way, these are all signs that they may be feeling hurt or scared. They might be trying to communicate that they're not comfortable with something you're doing, whether it's how you're approaching them or even the energy you're bringing into the room. Now, here's a big one: vocalizations. If your dog is suddenly barking, whining, or growling more than usual, it's time to pay attention. These vocalizations can be their way of expressing discomfort or distress. Maybe they're trying to tell you that something isn't right, whether it's a physical issue or an emotional one. If your pup is normally quiet and suddenly becomes vocal, it's worth investigating what might be causing this change. Finally, let's talk about the power of touch. Dogs communicate a lot through physical contact, And if your dog is avoiding being touched or flinching when you reach out, it could be a sign that they're feeling hurt. This avoidance can stem from a negative experience, like being accidentally stepped on or scolded when they got too close. It's essential to approach them with care and patience, allowing them to come to you when they're ready. So, there you have it. The 10 signs that your dog might be secretly hurt by you without you knowing. It's a lot to take in, but remember, our dogs rely on us to be their advocates. They can't speak our language, but they communicate in their own ways. By being aware of these signs, we can create a more loving and understanding environment for our furry friends. Let's make sure they know they can trust us and that their feelings matter. After all, they deserve all the love and care we can give them.